Welcome to this presentation about student engagement. It's at the core of learning. So what is student engagement? We're going to learn about it more through these three objectives. We're going to learn about the three understood dimensions of student engagement, about setting the conditions for engagement and learning, and about working on tasks with engagement in mind. So is student engagement behavior? Is it asking questions? What about turning in assignments? How about solving problems? Or maybe it's just showing curiosity in the lesson. Yes, it's all of the above. Let's look at a formal definition of student engagement as given by edglossary.org. In education, student engagement refers to the degree of attention, curiosity, interest, optimism, and passion that students show when they are learning or being taught, which extends to the level of motivation they have to learn and progress in their education. Generally speaking, the concept of student engagement is predicated on the belief that learning improves when students are inquisitive, interested, or inspired, and that learning tends to suffer when students are bored, dispassionate, disaffected, or otherwise disengaged. Stronger student engagement or improved student engagement are common instructional objectives expressed by educators. Student engagement is at the core of learning. Disengaged students learn less. You may have even heard the terms unmotivated or behavioral problems. And a disengaged learner may well be a bored one. Boredom is a powerful deaccelerator of learning. This is definitely a topic of conversation that I would suggest that you have with your child's teacher or teachers. We'll learn more here about how you might impact your child's engagement for the positive, and how measuring student engagement is more than just recording who's turning in their assignments or leaning forward in their seats with their eyes on the teacher. Student engagement has been understood across three dimensions: behavioral, cognitive or thinking, and emotional. Behavioral engagement means focusing participation, academic, social, and co-curricular activities. Cognitive engagement focuses on the student's level of investing in their thinking and learning. Emotional engagement focuses on the extent and nature of positive or negative reactions to all the components of school. You're one asking, how do they feel about school? Now let's look at them individually. Behavioral engagement is what most people think of when they think about student engagement. Behavior is observable, we can see it. But students can learn how to do school. They can act the part. We might see them sitting still and completing schoolwork and turning it in, and they still don't understand the content well. Behavior engagement alone is not enough. Behavioral engagement needs to be combined with cognitive engagement. Students who are interested, who seek challenges, and who use a sense of control over their impulses and actions and life are said to be cognitively engaged. Now, that's not to say that those who are challenged by any of these control factors can't be engaged in thinking and learning. They may just need additional supports to manage their control. To engage students cognitively, they are given choices, they monitor their own progress, they solve problems, set goals, plan, have a sense of control over their actions in life, and work on projects that appeal to their interests. To engage students cognitively, they're also going to need emotional engagement. Positive interest, good relationships, and safety all contribute to a student's ability to learn. Research has proven that students learn better when there's a sense of trust, belonging, encouragement, and safety. When it comes to learning, the power of negative events or situations greatly outweigh the power of positivity. Therefore, we need to provide an abundance of positive experiences to counteract the negative. Learners who have a sense of belonging and safety have an affinity towards classmates who are more likely to engage in discussions, pose questions, seek help when needed, or exhibit curiosity about a subject. So now that we've looked at the three dimensions, how do we set up the conditions for learning and engagement at home that will increase our children's behavioral, cognitive, and emotional engagement? First of all, make sure you are ready to support your child's learning. Take care of yourself. Second, create a space that's emotionally safe and supportive and that has all the tools that they'll need to be successful. Select a place that will provide the least amount of distractions. A workspace that focuses or faces on a window might provide a lovely atmosphere, but may also pull your child's attention away with bird sightings, friends playing, people walking by, and so on. Be consistent with your child's schedule. Consistent schedules help to provide that security and build trust. Children need to know what's coming next. When children have too many unknowns, it can lead to anxiety and or depression and may bring about unexpected or inappropriate behaviors. Some flexibility is important too. You know your child. If they're showing behaviors that tell you that they are done, then move on to the next thing on the schedule or provide a short break. As you work with your child, help your child to see how the activity, lesson, or assignment connects to their life or interests. Provide positive feedback that helps your child to progress and build their confidence. As you work with your child, help your child to see how the activity, lesson, or assignment connects to the life of their interests. Does the act of learning to follow directions help them with cooking or building something? Provide positive feedback that helps your child to progress. Build their confidence. I have another video about feedback that you may also want to watch. I'll connect it in the description. Welcome their opinions and ideas. People like to know that their opinions and ideas are heard and respected. Use informational, non-controlling language. Perhaps statements such as, would you like to sit on the floor or at your desk for this? Or, you can look at the directions to remind yourself of the steps to take. Or maybe even, show me how you're going to organize your papers. And give students the time they need to make sense and understand the activity, lesson, or assignment. This may require a practice in patience. In addition, remain aware of their emotions. When stress, frustration, and anxiety are present, learning is stopped. Show your enthusiasm for learning. You are their model. What they see you do is impactful. Make the goal learning, not performing, such as getting a good grade or being top of the class. Some students are driven by being the best. This drive may benefit in life, and it could prevent them from experiencing joy in learning. Place the emphasis on individual progress by reducing comparisons to others. We're all diverse, and respecting that diversity, even in how we learn, builds self-esteem, trust, and positive learning environments. And finally, recognize student improvement and success. Even a small accomplishment is an accomplishment. So now you've set up a good working environment. You know that your child should engage through 3 different dimensions, but you see that he or she is disengaging. What can you do? Encourage your child to think in more than one way. You might say, how else might you try that? Guide them to approach it differently. Help your child to make connections and relate to the task. Connections make learning possible. You might ask, does this remind you of anything? Ask your child what they think before you tell them what they'll need to do, think, or have. With a little bit of think time, they might just do the trick for them. You might say, what's the first thing that you need? Provide breaks as needed. Remember to be consistent but flexible. You can ask or state, I see that you've been working hard. Let's take a break and come back to this. Help your child to set goals and monitor their progress. What is your goal for today? How was yesterday? Might be questions that you could ask. A goal can be for accomplishing something small, like following one direction, to accomplishing something grand, perhaps finishing a coding project for a robotics club. Check in on their goals and progress often. Encourage your child to ask questions. An old adage is, it doesn't hurt to ask. Things you might say to them might be, that's a thoughtful question, or I like that you want to understand this. Let's find out. Those types of things motivate your student to ask more. So thank you for your investment of time today. We started with 3 learning objectives. Let's see how we did. Do you know about the 3 understood dimensions of student engagement? Do you now know about setting the conditions for engagement and learning? Or how about working on tasks with engagement in mind? In regards to the 3 dimensions, did you remember that they were behavioral, cognitive, and emotional? With the 3 dimensions understood, we then talked about the conditions for engagement. There was a lot to this. This is an objective that brought us to consider the environment, our language, consistency, positivity, and remembering to take care of ourselves too. In regards to the objective on working with tasks with engagement in mind, remember to be encouraging and be a guide. Make connections, take breaks, help your child make goals and ask questions. Now that you have all the puzzle pieces, but should a piece go missing, come back and watch any portion of this presentation whenever you need. I hope that you will have an engaging school year and that your students will learn a great deal. Thank you.